ball more?
Yeah, I mean, I trust the coach staff, what they're doing. You know, everyone can bitch and complain about getting lack of targets, but it's the stuff you do without the ball. And, you know, that's what leaders do, and that's what good teammates do, and I got my ass off regardless. So, you know, the target's going to find me. As long as I'm going out there doing my job, whatever's asking me to do, I'm going to go out there and do it the best I can.
Now, with Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth after the Dallas Cowboys loss, a few things happened with wide receiver George Pickens in his game. George Pickens played the lowest amount of snaps in his career. Coach Mike Tomlin was asked about that post-game press conference. He said he minimized George Pickens' opportunities so others can gain an opportunity, which sounds like a nice way of benching a player to me. And why would you bench a player, have your best wide receiver, offensive weapon not on the field in a tight game? Doesn't make any sense. And the meltdown at the end of the game, you seen George Pickens grab the guy's face mask and things like that. And now you have teammate, tight end Pat Freiermuth saying what he said. And anytime you have your teammate calling out other teammates, man, talking to the media, it's bad. That means it's just hit. It hit that point. It's at that point where guys are just tired of it. And if you look at it, the Steelers, that's the second loss this season, back-to-back loss. So, the emotions are high already. They're trying to figure things out, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And you definitely don't need anything coming from any players. Your best, one of your best offensive weapons is not in sync with the team. Is what it looks like, from the comments from Pat Freiermuth. Minkah Fitzpatrick made some comments last year about people not wanting to work and do some things, and it may be towards George Pickens and things. So, it may be going around already from the team that they're just frustrated and guys just wanting it to be their way. Throw me the ball and that's it. If I don't get the ball, I throw a fit. I melt down, whine and things like that. But as you heard from Pat Freiermuth, there's other things that you can do, to affect the game, man. If you look at this game, CeeDee Lamb, the one with the tight end Ferguson play, man, you see CeeDee Lamb make a few blocks, two key blocks to, help his guy get more yards, So even though he didn't have the best game, man, he was out there still blocking and doing things, trying to impact the game in other ways, because you can do that as a wide receiver. You've seen it from Hines Ward and other guys. So, it's as talented as George Pickens is, as talented as he is, man, there's other things you can do rather than making combat catches and all those nice catches, man, and things. That's nice, but a wide receiver, there's other duties and things. And when the teams, called you out, man, and it's bad. And the coaches have to answer questions, about what's going on, why wasn't he out there, the lowest amount of snaps and things, man. Things are getting bad. Last year, Coach Tomlin had to have a special, well, I don't know if it was a special press conference, but he opened up. He had another one on a Friday. Normally Thursdays or the media days, he did one on Friday just to clear things up with George Pickens. When he scraped all the Steelers stuff off the social media and things like that, people wondering what's going on here. And Coach Tomlin had to smooth that over. You don't want that lingering. You're trying to win ball games and you got other things that you need to focus on, and you don't want that being out there. And now, after this game, with that play at the end of the game, people saying, hey, George Pickens should be suspended and all this other stuff. So you're trying to figure the offense out. You need wide receiver help. You don't need any distractions from your best wide receiver that you have now. So where do you go from here if you're the Steelers? Because it seems like you keep running into this scenario. Talented guy, but very immature. And, how long do you put up with it if you're Omar Khan? You've seen things happen fast. There's a different approach when it comes to Omar Khan, man. Chase Claypool situation, didn't let that linger. Trade deadline is coming up. I would be shocked if anything happens this season. I mean, being that the wide receiver room is what it is right now, that would be shocking. For that to happen, they would have to get a Devontae Adams. That trade would have to go through, or use Pickens in the trade or whatever to do that. There was things like that floating around. People were saying, hey, maybe the Steelers can add Pickens and the Devontae Adams trade because they're like the Raiders wanted 2 and something else, and people saying, well, why would you trade a receiver for a receiver? And now things transpire and it's looked like, hey, would you really want Pickens and Devontae Adams, being his maturity level? Would that really work? Even though both of those guys lined up on each side will be dynamic. It's like, wow. But then, hey, somebody's not going to get what they deserve, and who's not going to, you don't want to go down that road. So you say, hey, you make a trade off, and then you bring in somebody more mature, veteran, and then you work around that, is what I got out of that proposal. And a lot of people, it was going around and said, hey, that doesn't make any sense. But now, hey, who knows? But what do you do if you're the Steelers? You're gonna have to pay George Pickens at some point. So with this attitude and things, like I said, you just keep coming to this point, man. Very talented guy, very talented, can do a lot of things, man. But it just seems like the little things is the big, he can make the big catches, but the small stuff is what he's lacking. And then just and it's rubbing teammates, as you can hear. And now Coach Tomlin limited the snaps, and the things is getting old with wide receiver George Pickens, is what it looks like. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Steelers do moving forward. Like I said, I would be shocked if they trade George Pickens this season because of how damaged the room is. So unless, like I said, he's in a trade for a wide receiver. So yeah, like I said, man, it very, very, and it's sad to see a guy like that with all that talent just can't get out of his own way. That's basically what it is. And that was something that was said coming out of college, about George Pickens, man. Got all the talent in the world, but it's just, he's just a mature, he has maturity issues. So, and you're going to have to really stick with him and really work with him to get what you need out of him. And the Steelers took the shot, and it looks like it may be true. You hate to say that and do that to a person, of that caliber, man. But if you keep coming back to the same, thing, you keep coming back to the same problems, and then Coach Tomlin has to keep answering the same questions, and it's like, man, what do you do there? It's kind of like, gotta do something. So you hate to see it. You want to see big plays out of a big time receiver. You want to see big moments, big highlights, and all that. Win big games and do big things with a guy like George Pickens, man. But when the attitude gets in the way of the production, man, it's just it's bad. So interesting to see what happens moving forward with George Pickens. I know everybody will be monitoring the situation, and we'll just have to see what goes on. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time, I'm out.